Grand Lux Cafe, they have this lovely appetizer called an eggplant fritter. Actually, I believe it's a little bit of a misnomer because there's these nice little breaded discs. It might be a fritter, it might be a croquette. And maybe marketing-wise, you know, croquette isn't as appealing as a fritter. I don't know. So you see I've got an eggplant here, and it's 1 pound, 2 3/4 of an ounce. Okay, that's important because what we're going to do is we're going to lob off just the end there, and then I'm going to peel it. And what I want to do is replicate those eggplant fritters at home. Okay, so now the eggplant is, oh, look at that, 15 and 7/8, right? Because the skin. Okay, so it's just about 1 pound. Wedges, what am I talking about? I'm going to cut it into cubes, and then I'm going to pan fry those cubes to cook the eggplant almost all the way through and concentrate the flavors. You got me? Okay. You got me, right? Now I'm going to put these in a nice hot pan, and I'm going to render them, right? I'm going to get the liquid, get it to release all its liquid, and then, you know, cook it most of the way, not all the way. I don't want a mushy eggplant. I want it to still be firm. All right, so I'm going to take about, well, I'm going to get a pretty high flame for now, medium flame. I want to get the pan hot, and it's a heavy bottom pan, so it's not going to heat up immediately. And I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil, right? Maybe it's about 1 tablespoon, right? Just a little bit. Let's see. All right, see how the oil is a little thinner? It's running. All right, let's put the eggplant in. Oh, I spilled some. Well, I'm really good at that, right? I am a spilling guy. All right. And watch this. Look, that's how much salt I'm going to put. Just that tiny little bit, right? Just a tiny little bit. My pepper mill is practically empty, as you can see. So I'm just I'm going to fill that pepper mill up again. But just a tiny bit of pepper. I know I ground it a lot, but that's because there's not much in there. Right, a little bit of onion powder. That's it, just a little bit. And a tiny little bit of garlic powder, and that's it. And now, I'm just going to pan fry this eggplant until it releases its liquid. It's important to point out here that I'm not boiling it or steaming it, because remember, I want to concentrate the flavors of this eggplant so that the dominant flavor in my final product is the eggplant. Also, you know, when I add the cheese, I'm going to add a smaller percentage of cheese to my eggplant. So in other words, let's say for sake of argument, when this is all rendered down, I have about 12 ounces of eggplant, right? Okay, so if I have 12 ounces of eggplant, I want to have less than 6 ounces of cheese in the whole thing. You got me? And also the same with the bechamel, right? I want to use maybe less bechamel. I just want enough bechamel in this to bind it. That's it. That's the purpose of the bechamel. Nicely, the color is changing, right? We're getting that nice dark, olive green color on the eggplant. And you notice also that there's really no liquid in the pan, right? So that's cool. I mean, what I probably should do is lower the flame now. So it looks like my eggplant is just about done. It only took a few minutes. I really wasn't timing it, so I can't tell you exactly how long this took. But it only took a few minutes for it to get here. And you see how now, right? You see how my cubes have shrunk? They're all nice and dark green. And let's give one a taste just to see if they're quite done yet. Ooh, wow. So that's got a nice pronounced eggplant flavor. I'm going to give it another minute, I guess. I don't want it mushy. I'd still like it to be a little bit firm so that when you bite into the fritter, you get that feel of chunks of eggplant. So let's see if I can get this into the container without spilling. Very nice. 370 grams or 13 ounces. So we went from 16 ounces down to 13. Okay, cool. So I'm going to adjust for my cheese. I'm going to use a total of 6 ounces of cheese and probably 5 or 6 ounces of the bechamel. All right. So my eggplant has cooled, right? I've got about 8.5 ounces of bechamel here. See how nice and thick it is. And look what I have here. This is 1 ounce of grated Parmigiano Reggiano, 1 ounce of fontina, and 2 ounces of mozzarella. Okay? And that is all going to go into this eggplant. So I don't know if I'm going to use all 8 ounces of this bechamel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put about that much for now. There's still a little bit left there. We'll see if I use it. Right? I just stir that up. Because I'm just using the bechamel as a binding, but I don't want the bechamel to overpower this. Now I'm going to throw in all of this cheese. Right? So if you notice, I had 1 ounce of Parmigiano Reggiano, 1 ounce of fontina, and 2 ounces of mozzarella. So that's only 4 ounces of cheese. Okay? And I got a little bit on the table here. That's okay. But basically, look at how nice it looks. And I just want to make sure that that's mixed well. And then the next thing I'm going to do is make sure I get the right size patties out of this. Now I have a little water here. I'm just going to wet my fingers to try to make these things not stick to me too much. Okay, so here's one patty. All right. And now, let's see. So a little water. Yep, that's almost, yep, perfect. Okay, so that's about 2 ounces. I'm just going to mold it. And I'm hoping that this cookie sheet is big enough for all the little patties I'm going to have. All right, you see how they're nicely held together? So I'm going to chill them so that they firm up a bit. What do I have here? I've got a combination of panko and Italian crumbs. Okay? So what I'm going to do is just get a little flour on them. And then I'm going to flip them over, dredge them in flour, dip them in the egg, dip them in the crumbs, and then we're going to fry them here. Okay? And I don't want them over floured, but I want to just, tap that flour off, but I want enough flour so that the egg will stick, right? Right, we're going to do the classic egg and then crumb, okay? Right, you got me? So just enough, and then I'll get the egg on it, and then crumb. And I want to make sure that my crumbs go all the way. And you know what? These might be a little big. That's okay. These might be a little big. I could probably have made them a little smaller. You know, it's funny. Earlier, they didn't seem as big, but right now, after I've got them crumbed up, they do seem bigger. But that's okay. I'll make sure that they're good and crumbed. Right? My oil is warming up over there. Okay, so the oil's getting hot. I'm going to drain them in this little rack. And let's see if I can get 5 in this pan. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I can do it. 5. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to do it in 2 batches. All right. I'm going to time these. I'm guessing it's going to be about 2 minutes per side. But I'm just going to let them get golden. Now, I'm not going to go by the time. I'm going to go by the color. You got me? Hey, look at how beautiful they look. And I think it might be time to turn them. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful golden brown. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, I think it might be time. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. And I'm just going to put them right on my little rack. Let's start this off. And in goes my next batch. Here they are just out of the frying pan. And they are looking lovely. You know what? I think I need to make them smaller. I don't think they're this big at the restaurant. So I need to figure out how to make them smaller. I just happen to have some leftover vodka sauce. This is not on the menu. So, but I happen to have a little leftover vodka sauce. So we're going to try something. And I happen to have a little leftover marinara sauce. Okay? So we're going to compare. We're going to compare. One on the marinara, which is the way they do it at the restaurant, and one with the vodka sauce. And then, I don't know if they use a basil oil or if they use a pesto, I don't remember. But I'm using the basil oil that I made the other day. Okay. And of course, we're going to garnish with a little shaved Parmigiano Reggiano. And it is tasting time. Alrighty. I don't think Honey wants to come. She doesn't want to be on camera, so I'm going to just taste it. Okay, so here's the vodka sauce. Oh my God. Oh my God. And here is the, I have to say, the marinara works better than the vodka sauce. But they're both, holy crap, they're both fantastic.